Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we're going to be talking about mechanical weeding or mechanical weed control. Don't really know the correct term for it, but I'm going to show you guys all the pieces of equipment, like this bad boy right here, that we have used on our farm this summer to try to keep the weed pressure down. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and without further ado, let's get her going. Starting off first, most of the implements that you will see will be attached to a John Deere 8RX 340. I say mostly 8RXs because that is the majority that we run, but we do run RTs or T-Tracks, which you guys have probably seen videos of, mainly on Tine weeders. Not that RT, that's the big boy RT. We use 8RXs mainly because they carry the weight better than the RTs. Obviously there's more tracks, there's 4 tracks instead of just 2, and 24 implements are very heavy sometimes. And starting off with this big bad boy, this one's pretty heavy, you can tell. It's got lift assist wheels, has a camera hitch. I'm not sure if it's still on there actually, but this is our new cultivator this year. So the thing that's special about this cultivator, well, it folds up very nicely. That's a bonus, but it has section control. So let's say you guys are in this field, which means nothing to you guys because you don't know what this field looks like, but there is a creek in this field, or creek. I don't know how you guys want me to pronounce it. All right, this took me 30 minutes to make, so be nice. So these are your headlands right here. These are your straight rows. When you're going like this and you turn them to end rows, if you have a normal cultivator that doesn't have section control, you either have to lift up right here so you don't take out any of these headlands, or you take out the headlands and lift up here, if that kind of makes sense. But this cultivator, you don't have to worry about that because it has section control, kind of like a planter. If you're planting and you already planted the headlands, as soon as you get to the headlands, it stops planting where you already planted. And this cultivator is the same way. You always do the headlands first, get it mapped out on your screen so it knows when it gets to the headlands, it automatically picks those, each section up individually, obviously if you're on a creek, but when you get to the headlands, it just picks them all up and stops cultivating where you've already cultivated. And this cultivator is the same way. You always do the headlands first, get it mapped out on your screen so it knows when it gets to the headlands, it automatically picks those, each section up individually, obviously if you're on a creek, but when you get to the headlands, it just picks them all up and stops cultivating where you've already cultivated, which is very nice. Sadly, Max did not take a video on this cultivator, so you guys won't get to see it in action. I'm assuming we'll use it one more time, but I'm sure Max will not take a video, so that's on him. Anyway, yeah, this cultivator and tractor combo kind of just went around all the fields with point rows and creeks and stuff and just cleaned them up nice and good. The reason we don't run section control on all of our cultivators is because most of our cultivators are older than me, and it's very expensive to do that. Anyway, if you have any questions on this machine, comment down below and I'm sure Max, well, will maybe answer you. On to the next one. I'm sure this cultivator looks familiar. This is the one that's been in the past few videos. It's the one with those new row units. I'll quick turn you guys around. So they are Envelop Pro row weeder row units. It's just a 3-swank, pretty schwanky, 3-shank or 3-sweep cultivator row units. And I'm pretty sure this is a 340. Yes, this is a 340. So this is set to 30-inch spacing, which is all of our machinery that we use for row crop farming is 30-inch spacing, all 60 foot. And pretty much everything is 3-point mounted, or everything is. Our planters, all the summertime tillage, all 3-point mounted. Now as we mosey on over west, you'll see a John Deere 3-sweep cultivator. So take a mental picture of what this cultivator looks like. Obviously being a new cultivator and a new type of row unit, everything's nice and tight, everything's new. This cultivator has worked very good this summer, and every time I've used it, I usually don't want to get out and run anything different. So I like this cultivator. She's put together nice. How's that one song go? Like a burlap bag full of bobcats. She's got it together. I bet not a single one of you guys know that song. If you do, comment down below. My only gripe with this cultivator, and it's not really a big deal because it's never gonna hit. You can see the distance between that, the furthest outside row unit, I guess that would not be, but the row units when you fold up come very close to the cab. And I'm pretty sure this 3-point probably isn't tipped all the way back. We'll come check. Yeah, it's not tipped all the way, I guess sucked all the way in forward, so it's not completely all the way up, but even then it still does not hit the cab. It's just really close. Just a few more things that are unique about this cultivator compared to the old John Deere row units and cultivators. You can see this box right here. There's a box right where my finger is up in the cab. That's the down pressure or the down force on each row. You can see the track rows have 2 and every other row has 1. So that just adds pressure onto these rows. So if the ground's hard, or the track rows especially, that's why there's double, you can push these down further and keep them in the ground working up the dirt. So far, both cultivators that I've showed you guys, both mechanical weed tools, are brand new to the farm this year. So this cultivator, the one back home that I showed you guys, we have never used those before. This is the first year using them, and so far we've loved them. Granted, there's a few things we'd tweak, not really on this one. This one's set up pretty good. This one works great. That suction control one, I think we'd take off the camera hitch, make it a little bit more lighter on the road, lighter on the tractor. Just a lot of weight to be hauling around. We do only run the 8RXs at 18 miles an hour down the road because that is a very heavy bar. It's a lot of row units, it's a lot of weight. So we don't want to burn up tracks. It's just an issue you don't want to have. As I said before, if you have any questions on this cultivator or this machine, comment down below and we'll try to answer them for you. And let's move on to the next one. As you guys can probably tell, made it to the shop where all the fun stuff is. Looks like all the combines are tucked away for the night. Probably won't do much out harvesting tomorrow. All right, first thing I'm gonna talk about in the shop is these rotary hoes. So this implement is mostly used in the first couple weeks of corn and bean weed control. It's called the rotary hoe because it rotates. It's a circle and it hoes up the ground. Very, very intricate. Not really especially. These are very heavy, a lot of weight on these. They don't fold up very nice and they're very tall, but we still use them. Now these will be used, and these are not the only ones we have. We have different brands, we have different rotary hoes, but these are just the 2 right here. These will mainly be used when the corn and beans are about yay, anywhere from there, that was really bad, about yay tall. We don't love to use these because sometimes you can ruin the stand, but when we get hard rains and we get rain in the spring and you have a crust on your fields, we like to take these through them and break up the crust and pluck out some weeds. Now we do go very fast with rotary hoes, anywhere from 10 to 12 miles per hour if it's working good. And it pretty much just plucks out all the weeds. It just spins in a circle really fast. There's a bunch of wheels. It just kind of digs up the dirt, if that makes sense. I'm sure you guys have seen this. Rotary hoes are a very old piece of equipment that we still use on our farm a lot. As you guys can maybe see, there's a lot of maintenance on these things. A lot of trash gets buried in the bearings there. If you don't keep them clean, as you can see, no one has gone through these quite yet. Those bearings go bad really quick. These are also, more often than not, hooked up to 8RXs as well. Like I said before, they're very heavy machines, so I like to have the good weight distribution, I guess, for the 4 tracks instead of just an old T-track. Now, I'm not sure what else is in this shed for summertime tillage, but we'll find out together, huh? I do want to take a moment quick and just acknowledge how beautiful this tractor is right here. It's a good old disc ripper. I cannot wait to run this in fall. Well, Sam just said everything else is down at a shed south of here about a mile, so we're gonna go down and check that out. But there's one more thing in the shop here I want to show you guys. A lot of you guys have asked about it. I want to give a quick shout out to one of my wife's co-workers. I know he's been looking forward to it. So this is the laser weeder. Did not get a video put out on this, but we'll talk about it really quick. My plan was to, when all the carbon guys were here, interview one of them and they could explain it, but that didn't work out, obviously. Well, I asked the group of smart people over there if they want to talk about it, and they said no. So I guess we're gonna try to. I'm not gonna go super duper in depth with this machine because I'm not knowledgeable enough and I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I'm just gonna talk about what we thought about it on our operation, and hopefully Troy out in Colorado, when they're running theirs, can snag one of the carbon guys and interview him. But we're just gonna talk a little bit about what we thought about it and what we used it on mainly. So this is a 40-foot laser weeder. There is 16 sections, so it's a 16 row, 30-inch spacing. We use this on corn and soybeans. right after we planted pretty much. Or as soon as the corn was popping through, we didn't do anything to it. We just started running the laser weeder over it. We ran it across one field, I believe 2 times, maybe 3. And towards the end, we were really only following the planter tracks. So we were skipping 4 rows on the outsides, if that makes sense. Since it's 16 row and we plant 24 rows, the turn tracks are 24 row. So we just followed the turn tracks. So we were always missing the outside 4 rows on either side, if that makes sense. But I will say the inside 16 rows definitely looked cleaner than the outside 4. Very, very, very noticeably. I'll try not to keep the camera on me so much and kind of show you guys this. It's just kind of backed into a corner pretty bad, but these are the row units. You're not supposed to step right there. The only thing with this machine that did not work great in Iowa was the speed and the efficiency. Now, with that being said, out in Colorado, and Troy can attest to this, it works very good out there. There's not as many acres to cover, and it's not as, I'm gonna say go, 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 as it is out here in Iowa. We planted all of our soybeans in 1 week. Probably not gonna tell you how many acres we planted that week, but it was a lot of acres planted. And this machine does not get the acres done per hour that we need to keep up with the planters, if that makes sense. But as I said previously, all the acres that did go across looked really good. It just wasn't, it's not the same size of stuff we use. Obviously being 16 row, we run 24 row, but it did work really good. I'm sorry guys, but we're probably gonna go outside. It is very hot in here and I don't like talking around people, so I'm gonna be throwing a few drone shots of it going. Talking about the laser weeder quite yet. I just want to start moseying on down to the other shed where all the other summer tillage equipment is. I did forget one cultivator in here, and I believe this is the only 370 that we have going on summer tillage down here, at least. Could be wrong on that. This is a single sweep, big old row crop cultivator. You can just see how beefy this row unit is, how big that sweep is. This is our Henniker single sweep row crop cultivator. This is primarily used on the last pass, sort of 2 final passes. Usually the final pass is summer tillage. It is meant to ridge up the middle of the row as much as you can and just throw a bunch of dirt. As you guys can probably tell from where the dirt is hanging on this thing moves a ton of dirt. Yeah, there's not really a ton to say about this. From pretty much most of the stuff you're gonna see from now on is gonna be the same, just a little bit different sweeps, different setup. But everything we run, I've said it before, I'll say it again, 24 rows, 30-inch spacing, very heavy. All right, before I go in the shed, I'm just gonna say there's gonna be a really bad echo and there's not gonna be very good lighting. So I apologize for that. So I'll try to just be efficient when I get in there. First, we have our sugar beet shield cultivator. You can see these shields will come down on either side of the single sweep right there, and it'll protect whatever crop you're doing, which allows you to go faster and throw a little bit more dirt. The downside being, obviously, you do not get to throw dirt into the middle of the row or in the row of beans as much, but you do go quite a bit faster and you get to set back all the weeds in the middle of the row. Second thing I want to talk about, here's another rotary hoe. This one we built ourselves, actually. I'm sure you guys have seen these quite a bit. These are our tine weeders, and I really do apologize for the poor lighting and Poncho out there being nice and noisy, but he's actually working and we're not. So these are tine weeders. This is the first pass that we will do across all of our crops, corn and soybeans. I'll go outside and talk about these a little bit more. We're not going back in there. All right, I'm not sure how well you guys can see tine weeders in there. I apologize, this video is kind of last minute. But tine weeders, like I said, in the shed there, are the first pass we do across our corn and soybeans. So right after we plant, we'll wait, or as soon as we can get in, we'll tine weed across. And that's usually on an RT or an 8RX, doesn't really matter. They're a very light machine. So that's the primary pass. After that, we come in with rotary hose, and after that we have cultivators. And I've shown you, I think, 2 or 3 different types of cultivators now. Not sure where an old John Deere one is, but we'll find one for you guys quick. I forgot about one more piece of equipment that is at this location. Ugh. And it's a good one. These 2 beasts right here are the old flaming wagons. So this right here is a retrofitted 1074 Rogator that we put propane tanks on the back and made a burner out of it. Now I have not had personal experience running this because, you know, I like my wife. But in all seriousness, this is a very, safe machine. It has on and off from the cab. You don't have to come out here and light stuff with it. It works good. But this is more of a, sorry, keep showing myself. You guys don't like that. This is more of a last resort thing. If a field gets out of control and we can't get a hold of it with hand weeding and mechanical weeding, we bring this thing in. The best year is when this never leaves this shed. As you can tell, hopefully it doesn't, because that tire has 0 air in it, I think. But anyway, yeah, so what this does, these go right next to the corn, and they'll shoot kind of at the base of it and the base of the weeds, and hopefully kill off the weeds and not really kill off the corn. Now it does set the corn back, which is why we do not like to do it. Anytime you damage the corn or damage a crop, it's not a good thing. And that one's not done yet, but this one has gotten some use. I'm not sure if we used it this year. I'm sure one of my brothers will correct me if we did. I forgot to say on the past few things, but if you have any questions about what I've shown you so far, feel free to comment and I will try to answer as best as I can. Also, if you have an air compressor, I'll give you $5 and a lollipop if you come blow that up if we need to use it. At this stage in the year, we're not bringing that thing out of the shed. It is staying in there. I don't know if you guys can see behind me. These are some of our cornfields. A lot of them were tasseling, so that's good. This one right here is not completely tasseled out, but that field, at least the east half, that variety is tasseled out already. I want to show you guys one quick thing. Sorry, this video is kind of just everywhere, but if you guys have been long-time watchers of the channel, you already know. This channel kind of sucks. I'm not sure why you guys watch. These are our plows. They're pretty cool. We got a 14 bottom and a 12 bottom, but I'm pretty sure the 12 bottom's just a 2 8s. Or not 2 8s. An 8 and a 6. So this is the 14, that's the 12. Maybe if I, counted, it would have been a whole lot easier. Those, if you want to buy them, you can comment down below if you want, I guess. This other plow over here. I did not show this last year. Didn't have a chance to film it. We didn't run it very much. This is a 13 bottom. Could be more, could be less, didn't count. But this is a 13 bottom rollover plow. I don't really know why I'm showing you guys this in the summer tillage video, but we are, because it's really cool and I like it. This thing's a beast. I don't actually know if it's a beast or not. Pretty sure it actually kind of sucked, but it looks really cool. I don't know, guys, take one more look, because you're probably not gonna see that ever again. As you guys can tell, I got a little water recently. So this right here, this baby, this is our John Deere 3-sweep cultivator. This cultivator bar right here is probably older than me. This is built on an 85/6 cultivator bar with an added 10 feet on either side to make it 60, 30-inch spacing, 24 rows. The 3-sweep cultivator is probably our main summer tillage tool. It's the most versatile. We run it in all stages of corn and soybeans. Obviously, we're running it, last pass soybeans right now. It's also on a 348 RX. Pretty good looking machine, won't you say? There's not much to really, I'm not gonna say complain about, but there's not a ton to talk about. It's just a very simple machine. It has 3 sweeps. It's got the springs, it's got the gauge wheels. It's just an all-around, easy to use, very easy to learn, very easy to dial in machine that we've used on our farm since we started farming organic. It's like this one's got high-speed shovels on it, which would make sense because this cultivator's probably going about 7 miles an hour through this bean field, I'd say. Anyway, yeah, so we'll do a quick recap of all the stuff we talked about. Here's one more shot. The complete thing. I wish we would have seen one of these cultivators unfolded, but can't always have everything. So I showed you guys a tine weeder, a rotary hoe, all the different types of cultivators, a flamer, a laser weeder, and as you guys could probably guess, we use a lot of different machines for this operation. I said that wrong. As you guys can tell, we use a lot of different machines or implements for this operation. We don't just use one cultivator, one tine weeder, one rotary hoe, whatever. We have different brands, different types, different just setups. The more tools you have in your shed for maintaining weeds, or not maintaining, eliminating weeds, the better. Like we talked about in that one video, we didn't plow any last fall and now we have a bunch of grass. Is not plowing the reason for all the grass? Maybe, maybe not. But if we didn't have a plow, we wouldn't have the option to plow in the fall, if that makes sense. So the reason we have so many different types of weed control tools is because you never know which one's gonna work the best, and you might as well have all of them to find the one that works the best, if that makes sense. Once again, guys, I apologize. This video is very hard to watch. I understand if you guys clicked off of it in the first 5 minutes, because I kind of just jumped around, but I wanted to show you guys all the different tools we use in our operation, because myself, I can't go to every single one of them and film them. So I figured this would be an easy way to come show you guys all of them. Once again, if you have any questions on any of the implements or any of the tools that I've shown you in this video, please comment down below and I'll try to answer them, or someone will try to answer them the best that they can. Anyway, guys, I'm getting eaten alive by these bugs, so we're gonna call it a video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, leave a like. Do not forget to subscribe. Next video is oat harvest. We'll catch you in the next one.